everyone. I'm Dr. Tuli Chatterjee from the English department, and this semester my ENG 101 class partnered with undergraduate students from St. Mira's College, Pune, India, to address our shared theme of borders and migration. I'm very grateful to students from both sides of the Atlantic, and especially to Professors Komal Tujari and Elizabeth Waki from St. Mira's for their warmth and patience as we all navigated these challenging waters. Even when the pandemic hit India badly, our St. Mira's family made sure that our project remains unaffected. We met on Zoom twice during the semester, and for the rest of the time, students engaged in critically reflecting on 3 shared texts: 2 short stories based on the theme of Rohingya genocide, and Bran Bilston's poem, The Refugees. The exchange not only helps students connect through their common experiences of navigating the challenges of remote learning, but they also share their love for anime, music, video games, languages, while at the same time documenting their thoughts on the shared text. Here is a glimpse of our page. As you can see that here students introduce themselves, then on the side, they were also documenting and reflecting on each other's. Now I would like to have my wonderful students who will share their COIL experiences. Today, I'm thrilled to have with me Andrea Aguilera, Elan Kopulovic, and Melissa DiCaprio. Andrea, the floor is yours.
Thank you. The international collaboration project we did with St. Mira's College in India was truly a wonderful learning experience. It was amazing to see how geography doesn't actually matter as much and how people can connect. Through this interactive remote experience, I was able to learn how the pandemic affected other areas across the globe, such as India, and not solely in my area. It was also great to connect with hobbies that we had. It was great to meet people who thought like you and had similar hobbies that you wouldn't think, from across the globe would share so much, in common. And that was a great experience. So hopefully we can do this again soon.
Thank you, Andrea. And to all our viewers, my students are at work, so they are also kind of navigating their workplace and our Zoom classes. So next goes to Melissa.
The COIL exchange was a very enlightening experience for me. I knew nothing of St. Mary's College or Pune, India before this project. So it was fun researching and learning about the city and interacting with the students at St. Mary's. We had a lot more in common than I assumed we would. It was interesting to hear their perspective of the current refugee crisis and to be able to connect with them over the struggles they faced during the COVID-19 pandemic. Because the pandemic has impacted so many people's lives, I found it comforting to be able to relate to someone who had gone through similar hardships, like all the way across the world, not just here in the US. And participating in this project affirmed to me that I should never assume anything about anyone, and I should always keep an open mind when learning about different cultures and perspectives. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Elan, the floor is yours.
Hello. So I wish I had more than a minute to talk about this, but I'm gonna make my time count. When I first heard that we were collaborating with St. Mira's, I instantly looked up the college to do some research on it, and I saw pictures and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. I would definitely love to come here. Maybe I'll take a semester or two. And then I found out it was an all-girls college and I kind of got disappointed. But during our international Zoom collaboration, we openly discussed many various topics. I found it to be both beneficial for my class as well as theirs. We were able to talk about our situation with COVID, comparing and contrasting it with theirs. My personal favorite part of it was when we got to split up into breakout groups and got to know each other a little bit more. I also really enjoyed the icebreaker at the beginning. It made the entire collaboration feel less like a school learning experience and more like a personal learning experience. I also opened my mindset knowing that I'm very privileged to be able to experience many different types of Indian cuisines, whereas they're set to their standard. The most valuable thing that I learned is that not much really separates me from our Indian peers besides borders, which I found to be pretty interesting, that although we're almost 8,000 miles away, we can relate to more things that we can't too. So I'll be looking forward to doing something like this again, and I'm very glad I was part of it.
Thank you so much.
Greetings, everyone. Our course titled Borders, Home and Displacement was a collaborative project between COIL, LaGuardia Community College, USA, and my St. Mira's College, India. The course helped us get familiar with the troubles of refugees, migrants, and the internally displaced by using various narratives, making the sessions interactive and interesting. The discussions were held via synchronous sessions with LaGuardia Community College, where we were able to interact with students belonging to a variety of age groups and shared our thoughts openly. Even accents didn't pose much of a challenge in terms of communication as we feared. The similarities in interests and opinions between us and our fellows at LaGuardia initially came as a bit of a shock to us, as we did not expect to be so similar to them. The course in its truest sense blurred borders and made us unite virtually, irrespective of our background and culture. The interactive sessions with Kiri Attri, Assistant Relations Officer from UNHCR India, allowed us to ask any and all questions in our mind regarding the refugee crisis and understand it better. We also had the opportunity to listen to a guest lecture conducted by Mari Jane Andropoulos, who runs a refugee library in Luxembourg, who shared some of our experiences working in the field and talked of their needs and condition. We expressed gratitude to our coordinating professors, Dr. Tuli Chatterjee, Komal Tujari, and Elizabeth Warke.
The change. Through this course, the students explored the refugee crisis and tried to understand it from an empathic and broader point of view, bringing about a change in their perception of the subject. When asked, here are some things my peers shared about their takeaway from the course. I'm thankful I got the opportunity to learn about refugees whom I had zero knowledge about, as did many of us in the initial stages. I never expected the picture was so much grimmer than I had originally thought. The course helped us feel the plight of the refugees, which we often fail to take notice of as we enjoy the comforts of our home. When I now hear of countries like Syria, Myanmar, Afghanistan, Somalia, and communities like the Rohingyas, I sense a rush of blood that makes me feel so much for the refugees who are lost in the hope to find a home someday. Highlights the growth and awareness we have had in this journey. Such collaborations like MILE really make the future generation more empathetically aware of the current events and their consequences, indicating how MILE has encouraged us to help understand the world and its problems better. While trying to understand the crisis better, we were given an assignment where we were asked to empathize with the struggles of the displaced and incorporate their pain in a creative write-up. We would like to present to you, as a stop-motion video, one of the poems from the submitted assignments by Rashida Jeevanji titled Ilahi, with which we would like to conclude this presentation. The film is shot and edited entirely by the students from their houses during the COVID lockdown in Pune.
Run! We heard our men shriek as they struggled to cross the creek. For moments the world seemed distorted, and then the blue mosque was bombarded. We abandoned our homes, hoping to survive, but Adam 4 was burnt alive. Time thereafter was spent on the road. Every minute our pace slowed. With no food, no water, no shelter, only dead friends and sons and daughters. Lifeless in old factories we lay, unless the Allahu Akbars made us stray. Ya Allah, what's been done in your name? Have they no fear, no shame? Then one day our men decided they had to return to get what was needed. Since then, no word, no ray of hope. All we could do was wander and grope. 10 days we choose to go back again. Our heaven turned to a bliss den. Crumbled homes, crushed dreams, we welcomed ourselves with screams. The cracked walls where once hung frames were now wrecked with bullets and flames. With terror amid the charred remains we sought, only my husband I could spot. By what saved him from the heat? The henna on his feet. The damned roof trampled his head. My love, my life, my rue, dead! There were others in that hell, all turned to ashes. Not 2, not 3, 11 genetic matches. It took them, the soil, wet with shame. Sole shrine for all, no mark, no name. We now scrub those floors every break of day. But the blood, the stench, the horror stay. Our children adrift uncharted waters, robbed of books, toys, and fathers, clothes torn apart, faces in dirt, their words hidden somewhere in the desert. So many Halas, Camils, Allens are lost in this strife, this mindless holocaust. Today, our little ones with swollen eyes wait for Baba Jan and sunrise. Those 7 or 8 live with pain and horror, for they buried their elders at an age so tender. Ilahi, we pray with every breath and blink. Protect them, even if our ships may sink. Give them a home, some light, some sleep, and love and laughter and olives to reap. Ilahi, revive their weakened wings. Ilahi, mend their broken swings.